Welcome to another special edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, and in studio we have guests with us today from Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your total comfort advisor. And we have with us Amy Harris and also Mitch Higgins. Thank you so much for stopping in today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Belly up close to those microphones. We
got it.
Want to make sure people hear what you have to say today. I know originally when we talked about having this gathering, we wanted to talk about service agreements. And I know that you work closely here in the Chillicothe office, but Mitch, you're out and about through the Scioto Valley here. And there are several locations that you have offices in, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. We have locations here at Chillicothe, which is our main office, and then we also have Lancaster, Wilmington, Washington Courthouse. We have a presence in Columbus, so we're throughout the communities.
Yeah, very good. Now, Mitch, you and I have known each other for a long, long time. You've been with the company for a long, long time.
Yes.
So much so that last night at the Chillicothe Ross Chamber of Commerce Awards Banquet, Accurate was handed the Legacy Award.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Tom White obviously started the company a long time ago, and apparently that's part of the criteria to have supported the Chamber and Ross County for several years, I think over 25 years. And so it was an honor to receive the award, and it was a great dinner and great presentation. We appreciate the Chamber for doing that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't get there without having built your way to get there.
Correct.
And I'm sure that Accurate is probably members of chambers amongst several areas here in Southern Ohio. You service how many counties? Is it 17?
17.
Yeah, 17 counties. So that's a wide area than what it all started as.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about service agreements here today. We want to make people aware that when you purchase something from Accurate, you want to have that service. Not everything lasts forever, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Even if you didn't purchase the unit from us, we can still provide service on that. Service agreements are basically maintenances that prevent costly breakdowns, extend the life of your unit, help you maintain your warranty if you do buy it, because there is an expectation from the distributors that you receive maintenances to make sure that it is in good standing. We do a 21-point inspection twice a year to keep you within those realms.
And when you put it in, you want it to last forever. When you can keep it going, just like buying a car, you have to make sure you change the oil, make sure you rotate the tires, and to make sure it still operates smoothly. And when you're counting on being cool during the heat and warm during the cold, you got to make sure that it's going.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mitch, you and I used to tout the heat pump, and we're talking 30 years ago. How has things changed technically with the equipment that are in homes today?
Great question. So years ago, I was actually a service technician, and then I transitioned to a service manager. So service and maintenance was a big part of what I did 30 years ago. And so I kind of grew up in the era where there was the blowers, for instance. They had there was a belt drive assembly that this motor turned a belt, which turned a hook connected to a pulley, which turned a shaft, which turned a squirrel cage. And that whole assembly had 4 bearings that needed to be lubricated every year, perhaps twice a year. And if you didn't do it, you were going to have trouble. Things were going to lock up. And then there was, of course, the belt itself would fail from time to time. And then there's this part called a thermocouple that was a pilot proving system that had to be changed every year. And if it didn't, so basically there was a pilot light. Everyone's heard of a pilot light. And the pilot light's job is to light the burner whenever the thermostat calls for heat. Well, if the pilot light goes out, the last thing you want is for gas to be spewing in there because the pilot light cannot light it. And so the safety device was called a thermocouple. You put it in there. If the pilot light would go out, the thermocouple would sense that, and then it would shut the system down and not allow it to fire. You don't have thermocouples now. Everything is direct ignition. You don't have belts or honestly, bearings in the blower assemblies now. Everything doesn't require, or the blowers and the motors don't require lubrication these days. They're called sealed bearings. So the manufacturers have done a lot to allow us not to pay so much attention to the maintenance portion of it. But because the furnaces are so high tech, there's a bunch of new stuff now that has to be done. For instance, the way that they light the burner assembly now, it's called hot surface ignition. So if you can imagine a glow coil inside of the burner assembly, and the gas valve says, okay, I need heat. And so it opens up and it sends gas through this manifold. And once the gas hits this hot surface igniter, the flame lights, it crosses over, and it's a beautiful thing. But there's no thermocouple. So what happens is the hot surface igniter is sending out a signal that actually passes through the flame over to this sensing rod. It's called flame rectification. So actually flame can carry current, which is bizarre, but it really can. And so this sensor now picks up this microamp signal that's coming over to it and says, yes, I have a microamp signal. So apparently the burner has lit, and it has 3 seconds to make that decision. And once it picks up a microamp signal, it continues to burn, and everything is great. But what happens once a year, every couple years, is that sensing rod will get carbon built up on it. And even though the flame is lit, everything is beautiful, it can't sense that microamp signal. So it thinks, uh-oh, I know I'm calling for gas, but I can't sense the flame, so I'm going to shut down and it will lock out. And so it's not that it didn't light, it's that it didn't pick up the microamp signal. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the items that you have to come in and you have to pull it out, and you have to get some emery cloth, and you have to clean it up and get the carbon buildup off of it, put it back in there, you're good to go. And there's lots of other things, perhaps we can talk later about that, but there are so many other things that are similar to that require maintenance. And if you don't have maintenance done, it's going to fail, and it typically fails either in the middle of the night or on Christmas Eve or on the 4th of July weekend when all your family is in. That's just the way it works somehow and for some reason. And so we have learned over the years that there is great value in having your system serviced and maintained if staying comfortable is important to you.
And all those things are happening, and when they don't happen, that's when you get a call.
Correct, yeah.
And that's where you step in and say, hey, this is part of the package, and here's what having a service agreement can do for you.
Yes. Yeah. The service agreement itself isn't just for maintenances. It also offers you a discount off of your parts and repairs.
Slide this over.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry. So it offers you the discount off of parts and repairs. We have different levels. We have a gold level and a silver level. The gold level gives you free diagnostic during regular business hours. So you're not getting the $104.50 charge that you would normally get whenever you break down in the middle of the night and you call the next day. We're there for you for that.
Yeah. And this is being done in 17 counties across southern and central Ohio. You've got a lot of people on staff, no doubt, with 8 different locations, or is it 7 locations that you have? And so you've got people that are trained to do what was described by Mitch just a moment ago.
Correct, yes. We have a great maintenance staff. We have some staff that is just purely maintenance, that their sole purpose is to make sure your system is maintained to the best of our abilities. So we have that available for you.
And some people take this for granted. I notice things. I can't tell you a day that I've stepped out into the car, driven towards Chillicothe, and not seen an Accurate truck. You guys are everywhere.
We are.
Actually, I heard last night that this kind of surprised me, but I think we have 190 employees currently at in all of our branches and all of our locations. That includes the plumbing, also commercial plumbing and HVAC. And so, I've been there. I was one of the first service technicians back in 1980. So there were one or two of us, and Tom White was a service technician. And honestly, we worked long and we worked hard, and we took care of our customers, and it built and built and built. And then, of course, we talked about Michael Linton getting involved a few years ago, and I think we've had 6 business acquisitions since then, and expanded our territory. And Dan, it's always what we've learned a long time ago is the success of our company is a result of providing impeccable customer service. Yeah. And we're not perfect, and we mess up sometimes, but I'm telling you, it is a priority for us to take care of our customers and provide good customer service. And we have the people who we work hard to make sure they see the vision, and they have the same quality standards that management does. And so, a lot of times I'll go out on a call. I'm in the sales group. I'll go out on a call, and the customer has no cooling, and they're just really upset. And I go there and find that, for instance, the circuit breaker may be tripped. Mm-hmm. And I'll go and I'll reset it, and I'll say, all right, ma'am, go ahead and try it now. And it kicks on and it works good. And, things like that are just, it's customer service things. It's like, you don't need an air conditioner right now. Keep using this thing until it really fails on you. And people are just so appreciative if you're straightforward and you're honest and you really have their best interest in mind. Things work out well for you. And that's how we do business.
And when you work with Accurate, you're working with Bryant.
Yes.
And so we want to make sure we get their name out there too, because when you talk about this, it's very key for anyone who's building a home, or maybe they just purchased a home, but they have an older system that needs to be replaced. And we're talking residential stuff here today, yes. But like you said, you do commercial work as well. So if I'm a customer today, or a potential customer today, the importance of a service agreement, the importance of Bryant, how important is this?
So if here's what typically happens, Dan. When at the end of May or the 1st of June, we get slammed, and it seems like everybody and their brother waits until then to call to have their unit fixed. And so we come in and we have, 10 guys, and we have 150 calls. We're like, whoa, how in the world can we do this? How can we take care of these people? And we work hard to do it, but we have to start prioritizing at that point. And so service agreement customers are priority. They get priority service. They get moved ahead just because of their commitment to Accurate and our commitment to them. So there's value in that. We have other special offerings that we give them as a result of having a service agreement. We prioritize an installation if they do decide to go with new equipment. And we've been a Bryant dealer for a long time. Actually, we're a Carrier dealer before Bryant. Bryant and Carrier honestly are the same product, made at the same facility, put different stickers on them. Our courthouse and Wilmington office, they are in fact a Carrier dealer, so we can do either one. But they're great. It's great equipment. Has great warranty. We have local distribution, local parts supply. It's just a win for everyone when you have Accurate and a local distributor to provide product. It's just a win for everyone.
Yeah. So let me bring Amy back into this conversation in regards to, if I am a new customer, but I just want you to take care of my existing system, can I get a service agreement for that as well? Or is this only for exclusive new purchases?
No, anyone can receive a service agreement through us. The only difference would be what I would recommend for you. If you have a brand new system through us and under warranty, I wouldn't push the gold service agreement, because you don't need the discount. You don't need the 25% off because you're under warranty. What you need is just to maintain your warranty through the distributor, through Bryant. So to maintain the good standing, you need your 2 maintenances a year. So there's a lesser plan, the silver plan, which is, of course, costs less. but you don't have to worry about that diagnostic fee because you're under warranty. Right. So with the Gold plan is what I would recommend for people with existing systems, people that come in, customers that we have never seen before. I would recommend the Gold plan because they do get the free diagnostic fee waived during business hours, and then also 25% discount and priority service.
We like discounts, don't we?
We do. Everyone does.
It's a huge selling point. It really is. Before I let you go, talk to us about the life expectancy, because I know at one point in time, I think the sales pitch and I'm talking years ago, was that the heat pump may last about 12 to 15 years. What's the life expectancy now with all the advancements that have been made?
So they come, a new heat pump comes with a 10-year parts and a 5-year labor warranty. So just throw that out. So for 10 years, you're pretty much covered because the manufacturer will give you free parts if something does in fact fail within the first 10 years. Beyond that, they say, I think the average, the last I heard, is 14 to 18 years. That now, understand, Dan, you can keep a system, an air conditioner or a heat pump running literally forever as long as you keep changing parts. But the issue becomes, where is it nickel and diamond me to death, or where is it, when does it become the best thing for me to change the system out? And it usually has to do with breakdowns. Mm-hmm. It usually has to do with efficiency changes. In other words, if this unit is costing you $2,000 to heat and cool your house, and now you can get one that'll do it for $1,000 in operating costs, clearly,
let's go new.
Yeah, I mean that just makes sense. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider. But honestly, we have people who have a 11 to 12-year-old system that we've changed, and we have people that have I'm going out on one today. I think he's 32 years old. I'm like, holy mackerel! How in the world did it last that long?
It has grandkids.
I know. Yeah. I think it's a Carrier or a Bryant. So yeah, it's good. So yeah, you can. And now I will say this also, geothermal, which we really probably don't have time to get too deep into that, but geothermal typically has a longer life. I think it's like 22 years now is the life expectancy of a geothermal, but a forced air system is somewhere between 14 and 18 years, to answer your question.
If you go to AccurateHVAC.com, you'll find all the phone numbers and locations where if your service territory, let's say you're in Chesapeake or you're in Lucasville or something like that, or even in Knockemstiff, they can take care of you. So as you see it scrolling across the top here, and we've got it in the post, you can just click on that. It'll take you right to where you need to find additional information. Anything we've missed you wanted to make sure we wrapped up with here today?
No, I would just say give us a call. We're not hard, no high pressure cells. Give us a call. Let us tell you more about it and what we can do for you.
Yeah. Yes, we want to be your home comfort advisor, and so when the time comes, if you have questions, honestly, I'm meeting a fella today who in Greenfield, who has he bought a house, found out there's a bunch of mold in it, and he has to trash his ductwork. He spent all of his resources on the home only to find out that he needs a lot more to make it livable. He's made it clear he has no expectations to buy from us, but I made it clear that I am happy to come out and help him and give him advice and tell him what I would do if it were my home, knowing that Accurate's really not going to get anything from it. But that's how we work. That's
who we are.
That's who we are, and that's what we do. So if you want a good, honest opinion, give us a call.
They're like family, folks, and they have been for nearly 5 decades. Thank you so much for stopping in today.
Thank you.
Mitch Higgins and Amy Harris. I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching this edition of Litter Media Live.